Hello everyone. So in the previous class, we have started with the feedback amplifiers. We have seen different types of feedback circuits. Also, we have seen the advantages of negative feedback circuits. Right. Today we will see in detail about voltage series feedback. So voltage series feedback in the sense from the output, the voltage is fed in series with the input voltage. So if you consider the diagram of a voltage series feedback, we have seen even yesterday that there is an amplifier, right? There is an input given to that. The input is V in. The input to the amplifier block is Vi, and the output is V naught across the node. From this output, the voltage is fed through a feedback network in series with the input. So here there is V naught, feedback voltage is Vf, okay, and here Vf is appearing in series with Vin. So effective voltage that is appearing at the input of this amplifier is Vin minus Vf, because here you can see they are in opposite phase. It is Vin minus Vf. So what other things are given here is the input and output impedances uh, with feedback and without feedback. So whenever we use a subscript F, that means it is with feedback. So this is input impedance with feedback ZIF. This is output impedance with feedback Z0F. So that is considered beyond the feedback block. So to the amplifier, without considering the feedback at the amplifier block, the input impedance is Zi and output impedance is Z0. Okay, so now what we are interested in is to derive an expression for the gain of an amplifier with feedback. Okay, uh, please do not mark on this. Okay, so we are interested to derive an expression for the feedback, for the gain of an amplifier with feedback. So we know the gain of a basic amplifier without feedback is A, right? A is output voltage divided by input voltage. Output voltage is V naught, input voltage is Vi. So without feedback, V naught divided by Vi, that is your A, right? So this gain is called open loop gain. You might have heard this term while we have studied op-amp also, right? Open loop gain, that is output voltage divided by input voltage without considering any feedback. So the overall gain of the amplifier with feedback is output voltage divided by the input voltage with feedback, right? At this end, what is the input voltage? It is V in. So overall gain is V naught divided by V in. Okay, overall gain is V naught divided by V in. So that gain is called gain with feedback. That's why we use a subscript F. It is AF. So this gain is also called closed loop gain. So without feedback, the gain is called open loop gain. With feedback, the gain is called closed loop gain. So then the feedback factor is Vf divided by V naught. Even this we have seen yesterday. It is the output of this feedback factor divided by its input. At the output of this feedback factor, we get Vf, there is a feedback voltage, and the input to this feedback network is V naught. That's why beta is Vf divided by V naught. Okay. Now from the expression or equation number 1, what we can write is V naught can be expressed as A times of Vi, right? V naught is A times of Vi. Similarly, from equation number 3, we can write Vf is beta times of V naught. Vf is beta times of V naught. Just rearranging the same equation. V naught is A into Vi. Vf is beta into V naught. So from the figure, as I had told you, input voltage to the amplifier is V in minus Vf. Input voltage minus the feedback voltage, because it is appearing, it is out of phase of the input voltage, right? So V in minus Vf. So if you substitute in place of Vf, if you substitute beta V naught, that is using equation number 5 in equation number 6, we get Vi is equal to V in minus, in place of Vf, I am writing beta V naught. So using this, so we have got an expression for Vi. that is V in minus beta V naught. If I use this in equation number 4, equation number 4 was V naught is equal to A times of VI, A VI. So in place of VI, I can write V in minus beta V naught. So it will come to V naught is equal to A into V in minus beta V naught. So if I simplify this, what I'll get is A into V in is A into V in minus, if I multiply A here, beta A into V naught. So if I bring all the V naught terms on one side, V naught, so this is minus beta A V naught. If I take it to the LHS, it will become plus beta A V naught. That is equal to A V in. Okay. So if I take V naught common among these two, the factor is 1 plus beta A. That is equal to A into V in. So V naught into 1 plus beta A is equal to A into V in. Now, we know that V naught by V in, if I take V naught by V in, that is equal to the gain with feedback, right? V naught by V in is nothing but the gain with feedback AF, and that will be equal to A divided by 1 plus beta A. So this is the expression for the gain with feedback. Okay, in the exam, you might be asked to explain a voltage series feedback circuit and derive an expression for the gain with feedback. That is one of the very important questions. It is asked almost surely in the examination for 5 to 6 marks. So you need to write that diagram of the voltage series feedback and get this expression for AF, that is V naught by V in, that is equal to A divided by 1 plus beta. Okay. So now in this, what we observed is A is the gain without feedback, AF is the gain with feedback. Okay, so in the expression for gain with feedback, A is divided by 1 plus beta A. So if at all there is change, and if at all there is any change in the gain A, it is reduced by 1 plus beta A times. Okay, so that is what we mean. Thus the negative feedback reduces the gain by a factor of 1 plus beta A. Okay, the gain is reduced by a factor of 1 plus beta A. So gain actually reduces here when you use a negative feedback. So we can make an assumption that if at all this beta A is very much greater than 1, okay, if at all beta A is very much greater than 1, what happens here? AF is approximately equal to 1 by beta. Okay, if at all it is very much greater than 1 plus beta A is approximately equal to beta A, right? If this term beta A is very much greater than 1 plus beta A is approximately equal to beta A, because if it is very much greater than 1, adding 1 to it will make not much difference. So it is approximately equal to beta A. A divided by beta A and A gets cancelled, it will become 1 by beta. That means the gain with feedback will be approximately equal to 1 by beta, where beta is the feedback factor and it does not depend on the gain without feedback A. So A is not a term in the expression for AF. This we consider only when beta A is very much greater than 1. So that means the feedback gain is independent of the amplifier gain A. That means any variation in the magnitude of A, it will not appear in AF, which means AF has high gain stability. So why we try to show that AF does not depend on A is that in order to show that our gain is stable. So in the previous class, I had told that our intention in having amplifiers is to have a very stable gain. If at all the gain A is not a stable thing, if it is changing, so and that change, if it does not impact on the gain with feedback, it is a very good thing to happen, right? So that is why if the gain is not a part of the equation for a feedback gain, that means your amplifier performance is better. Okay, so that's about the voltage series feedback. In this, again, there are input and output impedances. Your input impedance, we say it increases. Okay, it has to increase here. Zi is the input impedance without feedback, and ZIF is the input impedance with feedback. Then the impedance is multiplied by this 1 plus beta A times. Okay, there is actually derivation for this, which is out of the scope of your syllabus. Just remember that 1 plus beta A factor, it actually comes from this particular factor, where gain with feedback is gain without feedback divided by 1 plus beta A. So that's why the input impedance increases by the same factor. Similarly, if output impedance without feedback is Z0 and output impedance with feedback is Z0 F, output impedance is decreased by 1 plus beta A times. Okay, so this is about how the voltage series feedback creates an impact on input and output impedances. In fact, input impedance increases by 1 plus beta A times and output impedance decreases by 1 plus beta A times. So next, we have also said that the feedback, negative feedback, increases the bandwidth of your feedback amplifier. So how does it do that? Okay, negative feedback reduces the gain. Okay, it obviously reduces the gain. We have seen that with the derivation, the gain is reduced by 1 plus beta A times. But we know in any circuit or in an amplifier, the gain bandwidth product is a constant. The gain and bandwidth product is a constant. That means if the gain reduces, then the bandwidth has to increase. Okay, if the gain reduces, then the bandwidth has to increase. So you consider the frequency response of an amplifier with and without feedback that is shown in this circuit. Okay, in this circuit, what you can see, this is the frequency axis, x-axis, and this is the gain axis. So this diagram, what you can see, which is increasing and it has become a constant here, and again it is decreasing. This is the frequency response of the gain. Okay, it is the frequency response of the gain. Frequency response means how the gain changes with the change in frequency. So for the lower frequencies, you know, as you increase the frequency, the gain will increase. The gain will increase, and at a certain point, the gain will become constant. So that constant, the gain, you know, the constant gain is called the mid-band gain. Okay, and again after it reaches a certain value, again when the frequency increases, the gain will decrease. Okay, the gain will decrease. So for the lower and higher frequencies, the gain will increase and decrease, but for the middle values of frequencies, the gain is a constant, and those values are called mid-band, and the gain at the mid-band frequency is called the mid-band gain. So this gain is considered in any amplifier circuit. The mid-band gain is considered because at that particular value or at that particular frequency or that particular range, the gain is constant. So we always go for a constant or stable value of gain. Okay, so in mid-band, the gain is constant. So we consider this value. Again, in this value, we directly do not take its peak value into consideration, but we actually subtract minus 3 dB from the mid-band gain. Minus 3 dB in the sense, so it is actually a convention, and there are sufficiently convincing reasons why we go for this particular gain after reducing minus 3 dB from it. Okay, so it is actually minus 3 dB means you get half of the maximum power. Okay, if you subtract minus 3 dB from the gain, you get half of the maximum power. So minus 3 dB in the sense, it is actually dividing by root 2. Okay, it is dividing by root 2 or multiplying by 1 divided by root 2. So that 1 divided by root 2, 1 divided by root 2 is 0.707. If you just find the value of 1 by root 2, it is 0.707. So 0.707 into A naught. We are going to multiply 0.707 into A naught. You know, it will be coming like almost 70.7%. It will be coming here. So this is considered as the bandwidth of the signal. Okay, this is the bandwidth of the signal. So bandwidth in the sense the range of the frequencies. So wherever this particular line meets this frequency response of the gain, you drop a perpendicular from there. At this particular end, whatever you get, you take it as the lower frequency or F1. Here you take it as upper frequency or F2. The difference between upper and lower frequency, that is F2 minus F1, will give you the bandwidth. Okay, this is the bandwidth. This is when you consider the amplifier without feedback. When you consider feedback, the gain reduces. So this is the gain frequency response for the gain with feedback. So the peak value is A naught F. You can see it is reduced. It was this much. It has reduced to this much. This less. Okay. So if you find 0.707 of that, it will be still lesser. It will come somewhere here. Okay. At this particular point where it meets, you drop a perpendicular here and here. This will be the lower frequency F1 with the subscript F. This is F2 with a subscript F to indicate that it is with feedback. The range of this from F1F to F2F, that is bandwidth with feedback. Okay, BWF, that is F2F minus F1F. Okay, so this is the gain and bandwidth of a feedback amplifier. So we are trying to show or prove that the product of gain and bandwidth will remain equal. Okay, so as F1 is very much lesser than F2 and F1F is very much lesser than F2F. So here what happens is the value of F1 and F1F, they will be very near to 0 and this will be too high. So compared to F2, F1 will be very, very less. Similarly, compared to F2F, F1F will be very, very less. Okay, so we are using it to make some assumptions. The bandwidth without feedback, that is BW, is F2 minus F1. This BW or bandwidth is F2 minus F1. If F1 is very, very less compared to F2, we can ignore this F1, right? We can ignore this F1. So the bandwidth is approximately equal to F2. And the bandwidth with feedback is bandwidth with feedback, that is F2F minus F1F. Again, is F1F is very, very lesser than F2F. We can ignore this and we can just write F2F. Okay, so this gain, that is appearing at the mid-band frequencies is the mid-band gain, A naught. It's called A naught. That is the mid-band gain without feedback. And A naught F, this A naught F is the mid-band gain with feedback. At high frequency, the amplifier acts as low pass circuit. Okay, if the frequency is very high, it will just pass, or it will just act as a low pass circuit. That means low pass circuit means whatever the signals appear within a given frequency, they will be allowed to the output. So next we will consider another way of representing this gain in terms of its frequencies. The gain of the amplifier without feedback, it is given as A, that is equal to A naught, where A naught is the mid-band frequency or mid-band gain, sorry, A naught is the mid-band gain divided by 1 plus j omega by omega 2. It is in terms of frequency omega, where omega is 2 pi f, right? So omega 2 is 2 pi into f2, where f2 is this particular value, the bandwidth of the signal without feedback. So that's why we get this thing, 1 plus j omega by omega 2. J, it's a complex term. J stands for square root of minus 1. Similarly, the gain of the amplifier with feedback, that is given as AF. In place of A, we have AF. That is equal to, instead of A naught, you'll have A naught F divided by 1 plus j omega by omega 2F. Here, omega 2F stands for 2 pi F2F. Okay, so what is F2F is this? F2F is the bandwidth with feedback. So that's why we have that term. And the product of the gain and bandwidth, okay, the gain and bandwidth product is a constant. That means the bandwidth without feedback is F2, bandwidth without feedback is F2, and gain without feedback is A naught. So A naught into F2 is the gain and bandwidth product without feedback. Bandwidth with feedback is F2F and gain with feedback is A naught F. So the product A naught F and F2F is gain bandwidth product with feedback, and these two are constant. Okay, the product of gain and bandwidth with feedback and without feedback, if you consider, they should be constant. Next, we will try to show, we have said that the gain will be stable, right? We have to show that the gain is stable. For any change in the gain, it has to be, the gain with feedback has to be stable. So to show that, we will consider the equation for the gain with feedback that you have already derived, that is AF, that is equal to A divided by 1 plus beta A. Differentiate both the sides with respect to A. So if you differentiate both the sides with respect to A, d by dA of AF, that is dAF by dA, and differentiate this with respect to a, d by dA of a by 1 plus beta a. So if you divide this by using du by dv, you will get this thing 1 divided by 1 plus beta a the whole square. You can try this, try to differentiate a divided by 1 plus beta a with respect to a. You will get 1 divided by 1 plus beta a the whole square. So if I rearrange this, 1 divided by 1 plus beta a with the whole square, can write it as 1 divided by 1 plus beta a into 1 divided by 1 plus beta a, right? Okay, rearranging this daf by dA is 1 divided by 1 plus beta a into 1 divided by 1 plus beta a. Now, one of the terms, 1 divided by 1 plus beta a, I will substitute this particular value in this equation. So from this equation, if I take this A to the LHS, what do I get? AF divided by A, right? If I take this A to the LHS, it will come to the denominator. It will be AF divided by A. That will be equal to 1 divided by 1 plus beta A. So 1 divided by 1 plus beta A will be equal to AF divided by A, right? So that is what I get. DAF, yeah, AF divided by A. In place of 1 divided by 1 plus beta A, I'll get AF divided by A. Again, if I rearrange this, AF terms, if I bring one side, and A terms, if I bring on the other side, DAF divided by AF. And DA, if I take to the RHS, it will go to the numerator. So it will become like this, DAF divided by AF. That will be equal to 1 divided by 1 plus beta A multiplied by dA divided by A. So what we understand from this equation is this dA divided by A is the change in the gain without feedback, and DAF by AF is the change in the gain with feedback. So what we understand from this is the change in the gain with feedback, that is equal to the change in the gain without feedback divided by 1 plus beta A. That means the change is reduced by 1 plus beta A times, right? So that means the impact of the change on the change with feedback will be reduced. So again, you can make an assumption that if beta A is very much greater than 1, then 1 plus beta A can be just replaced with beta A. So it will just become DAF by AF is 1 by beta A into DA by A. So this shows that a relative change, that is dA by A, in the basic amplifier gain is reduced by the factor of beta A in the relative change DAF by AF. That means the gain becomes more stable. Okay, we are just trying to show that the gain becomes more stable. So that's all. We have seen voltage series feedback. We have got the expression for its gain with feedback, right? Then we have seen its impedances. We have also seen how the gain and bandwidth of the feedback amplifier, and also the gain stability. So there might be some numerical example, one numerical example which is there in your textbook and also in the model paper. It is this one. Let's try to note down. An amplifier has a high frequency response described by A is equal to A naught divided by 1 plus j omega by omega 2. So it is in that expression, in that form, wherein A naught is the midband frequency, right? Midband gain, right? That is equal to 1000, and omega 2 is 10 raised to 4 radians per second. It is the frequency or the bandwidth without feedback. Find the feedback factor which will raise the upper corner frequency omega 2 to 10 raised to 5 radians per second. That means with the feedback, omega 2 will be 10 raised to 5 radians per second. And what is the corresponding gain of the amplifier? Also find the gain bandwidth product in each case. In this case, okay. So what is given is the gain is given, equation for that, A naught divided by 1 plus j omega by omega 2. Midband gain is given, A naught is 1000, this is without feedback. And omega 2 is given, this is upper corner frequency without feedback, that is 10 raised to 4 radians per second. So we know that the gain with feedback, AF, if you follow the same equation, for AF, that is equal to A naught F divided by 1 plus j omega by omega 2 F. AF is A naught F divided by 1 plus j omega by omega 2 F, where A naught F is the midband gain with feedback. And you know the expression for AF is A divided by 1 plus beta A. So A naught F is A naught divided by 1 plus beta A naught. Okay, this is the expression for A naught F, that is A naught divided by 1 plus beta A naught. So it is also given that with the feedback, you know, your upper corner frequency with feedback, it has to be 10 raised to 5 radians per second. So omega 2f is 10 raised to 5 radians per second. Okay, it is 10 raised to 5 radians per second. So what happens is the with feedback, in the sense the frequency will increase. If you induce a feedback, the frequency will increase, and by what times? By the same factor, by 1 plus beta A times. Okay, the frequency will be multiplied by 1 plus beta A times. So omega 2f is omega 2, that is frequency without feedback, multiplied by this factor 1 plus beta A naught. So you know all these values except beta, substitute them. Omega 2f is 10 raised to 5. Omega 2, it is given in the previous, in the problem statement, is 10 raised to 4 into 1 plus beta into A naught is also given, it is 1000. So if I rearrange this, 1 plus beta into 1000, that is equal to 10 raised to 5 by 10 raised to 4. That means it is 10, right? So if I take 1 to the RHS, it will become 10 minus 1, that is equal to 1000 beta. 10 minus 1 is 9. So beta is 9 divided by 1000. So beta is 0.009. This is the feedback factor. So if the feedback factor is 0.009, substitute this in this particular equation. Okay, the gain with feedback. Gain with feedback is A naught F, that is A naught by 1 plus beta A naught. A naught you already know, you have found the beta using this thing. So if you substitute those values, 1000 divided by 1 plus 0.009 in 1000, that is equal to 1000, 0.009 into 1000 is 9, right? 9 plus 1 is 10. So what you get is 1000 by 10, that is equal to 100. So this is the gain or midband gain with feedback, that is equal to 100. This was the question asked. Find the what is the corresponding gain of the amplifier. The corresponding gain is 100. Find also the gain bandwidth product in this case. The gain bandwidth product, it can be found for both the cases, without feedback and with feedback. So if you consider without feedback, omega 2 is the frequency without feedback, and A naught is the gain. Omega 2 is 10 raised to 4, A naught is 1000. If you multiply, you'll get 10 raised to 7. If you consider with feedback, omega 2f is the frequency and A naught f is the gain. Omega 2f is 10 raised to 5, A naught f is 100. If you find the product, it will be 10 raised to 7, right? So you have to get both the terms as 10 raised to 7, without feedback and with feedback. It is like cross verifying your answer. If you do not get both of them equal, that means you have made some mistake. Okay, because gain bandwidth product should be constant with feedback and without. Okay, so that's all for today. We have seen, we'll just revise what we have seen in case of feedback amplifiers. So we have seen the principle of feedback amplifiers, right? Then the types and the positive and negative feedback and where they are used, properties and advantages of negative feedback, types of feedback, along with the equations for A, beta, and AF. Then we have studied in detail voltage series feedback. With the block diagram, we have derived an expression for AF. We have shown that AF, in AF, the gain AF is stable, more stable than A. We have seen input and output impedances, then the gain and bandwidth, then gain stability with feedback. We have got the expression, and then we have seen a numerical example wherein we have considered the feedback. They have given a frequency with feedback. We have found the gain, and we have also found the gain bandwidth product. Okay, with this, we finish this topic of feedback amplifiers. From the next session, we will start oscillators.